Muhammad Ali, the world champion, was getting ready for one of the biggest fights of his life. He was known for being fast, strong, and very confident. He wasn't just any boxer, he was a superstar. People all over the world knew his name and loved to watch him fight. He danced around the ring, light on his feet like a butterfly. His punches were quick and powerful, like a bee's sting. Everyone thought he was the best, and Ali thought so too. He worked very hard to be the champion, training day and night. He knew that to stay on top, he had to be ready for anything. This fight was important. He was defending his title, which meant he had to beat the challenger to stay the champion. The pressure was on, but Ali didn't seem worried. He was ready to show the world once again why he was the greatest. He had a special surprise in store, though, something that had nothing to do with punches and everything to do with heart. The arena was buzzing like a hive of excited bees. Bright lights shone down on the boxing ring, making it sparkle. Thousands of people filled the seats, cheering and waving. You could feel the energy in the air. Everyone was excited to see Muhammad Ali fight. The noise was incredible. People shouted his name, stomped their feet, and clapped their hands. Flags from different countries waved proudly. The smell of popcorn and hot dogs filled the air, making everyone hungry. Music played loudly, adding to the excitement. It was like a party, but everyone knew that soon it would be time for serious business. The atmosphere was electric, a mix of fun and anticipation. You could feel the rumble of the crowd in your chest. This wasn't just a fight, it was an event. The whole world was watching, waiting to see what would happen. Backstage, in the middle of all the excitement, Ali was getting ready. He was wrapping his hands, getting his gloves on, and warming up his muscles. Suddenly, one of his friends came rushing over with some news. "Ali," the friend said, "Joe Martin is here." Ali's ears perked up. Joe Martin? He hadn't seen him in a long time. "That's great," Ali said, smiling. "Where is he sitting?" His friend hesitated. "Well, that's the thing, he's in the upper deck." The upper deck. That was way up high, far away from the action. Ali's smile disappeared. He couldn't believe it. Joe Martin, the man who started it all, was stuck way up there? This wasn't right. He knew he had to do something. He couldn't let Joe Martin sit so far away during such an important night. You see, Joe Martin wasn't just anyone. He was a police officer, but he was also much more than that to Ali. When Ali was just a young boy named Cassius Clay, someone stole his bicycle. He was angry and wanted to find the thief. He went to the police station to report it, and that's where he met Joe Martin. Joe Martin listened to the young boy and understood his anger. But instead of just taking a report, Joe showed Cassius something amazing: the boxing gym downstairs in the police station. Joe Martin was a boxing coach, and he saw something special in the young, angry boy. He taught Cassius how to box, how to channel his anger into something positive. He gave him his first pair of boxing gloves and showed him the ropes. Joe Martin was the one who started it all. Without him, there might never have been a Muhammad Ali. He was more than a coach, he was a friend and a mentor. Hearing that Joe Martin was stuck way up in the upper deck made Ali really upset. It wasn't just about being far away, it was about respect. Joe Martin had given him his start, believed in him when no one else did. He deserved the best seat in the house. Ali felt a fire burning inside him. He stopped wrapping his hands. He stopped warming up. He couldn't focus on the fight knowing that Joe Martin was so far away. It felt wrong, like forgetting someone important. His face showed how he felt. He wasn't smiling or joking anymore. He was serious, determined. This wasn't just about boxing, it was about loyalty and gratitude. He couldn't imagine going out there and fighting without making sure Joe Martin was closer to the action. He knew what he had to do. He had to bring Joe Martin down to ringside, where he belonged. Time was ticking. The fight was about to start. Everyone was waiting for Ali. But he didn't care about the schedule or the crowd. He knew what was truly important. Stopping his pre-fight routine was a big deal. Usually, he was very focused, going through the same steps every time. But this was different. This was about honoring someone who meant the world to him. He knew that pausing his preparations could affect his performance. He might not be as warmed up or as mentally ready as he usually was. But he was willing to take that risk. Showing Joe Martin respect was more important than winning the fight. It showed how much he valued loyalty and friendship. He pushed aside the gloves, the wraps, and the water bottles. He had a mission to complete, and he wouldn't let anything stop him. The championship could wait. Joe Martin couldn't. Go find him, Ali said to one of his assistants, his voice firm. Find Joe Martin and tell him I want to see him. The assistant, surprised by the sudden request, nodded quickly and hurried off. He knew how important it was to Ali, so he ran as fast as he could through the crowded arena. It wasn't easy to find someone in such a huge place, but he was determined to do it. He climbed up the stairs to the upper deck, scanning the rows of faces. He asked people if they had seen Joe Martin, describing him as best he could. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he spotted him. Mr. Martin! He called out. Mr. Martin! Muhammad Ali wants to see you! Joe Martin looked surprised, but he followed the assistant without hesitation. He had no idea what was going on, but he knew that if Ali wanted to see him, it must be important. When Joe Martin arrived backstage, Ali greeted him with a big smile and a warm hug. Joe, I'm so glad you could make it, Ali said, his voice full of genuine happiness. But you can't sit way up there. You deserve to be ringside. Then, something amazing happened. Ali, the world champion, personally escorted Joe Martin through the crowd, leading him to a seat right next to the boxing ring. People cheered and clapped as they saw Ali walking with the older man. They knew something special was happening. Ali made sure Joe Martin was comfortable, asking if he needed anything. He treated him with so much respect and care. It was clear to everyone how much Joe Martin meant to him. He wasn't just a fan, he was family. Seeing Ali, the champion, showing such kindness and gratitude was truly inspiring. It showed everyone that no matter how famous or successful you become, it's important to remember the people who helped you along the way. Now, it was time for the fight. Ali stepped into the ring, feeling the energy of the crowd. He knew Joe Martin was watching him, and that gave him even more strength. He danced around the ring, light on his feet, just like he always did. His opponent was tough, but Ali was ready. He threw punches with power and speed, dodging and weaving like a master. The crowd roared with every move. Ali was in control, showing off his amazing skills. He remembered all the lessons Joe Martin had taught him, all the hours they had spent in the gym. He used those lessons to his advantage, landing punches and avoiding his opponent's attacks. The fight went on for several rounds, with both fighters giving it their all. But in the end, Ali was too strong, too fast, and too skilled. He won the fight, defending his title once again. The crowd went wild, celebrating their champion. Ali had done it again, proving why he was the greatest. But the night wasn't over yet. The most important moment was still to come. After the fight, as Ali stood in the ring, sweaty but triumphant, a reporter came up to him with a microphone. The reporter started asking questions about the fight, about his strategy, and about his future plans. But Ali had something else on his mind. He smiled at the reporter and said, "Before I answer any questions, I want to say something very important." The crowd quieted down, eager to hear what the champion had to say. Ali looked around the arena, his eyes searching for someone. Then he saw him, Joe Martin, sitting ringside, watching him with a proud smile. Ali pointed towards Joe Martin and said, "I want to thank someone special tonight." The spotlight turned towards Joe Martin, shining brightly on his face. He looked surprised but happy. He knew what was coming. This was Ali's moment to shine, but he was about to share it with the man who had given him his start. "This man," Ali said, pointing to Joe Martin, "gave me my first pair of boxing gloves. He taught me how to box, how to be strong, and how to believe in myself. Ali's voice was filled with emotion. He wasn't just thanking a coach, he was thanking a friend, a mentor, and someone who had changed his life forever. He continued, "Without Joe Martin, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be the champion. He saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself." Ali's words were humble and heartfelt. He was giving credit where credit was due. He looked directly at Joe Martin, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Joe," he said. "Thank you for everything." It was a simple thank you, but it meant the world. Ali's words showed everyone how important it is to remember the people who help us along the way. He could have taken all the credit for his success, but he chose to share it with the man who had given him his start. The crowd erupted in applause. People stood up, cheering and clapping for Joe Martin. They recognized the important role he had played in Ali's life. They understood that without Joe Martin, there might not have been a Muhammad Ali. The standing ovation went on and on. It was a powerful moment, a tribute to a man who had made a difference. Joe Martin smiled, his eyes filled with tears of joy. He had never expected such recognition. He was just happy to have helped a young boy find his way. The applause was so loud that it filled the entire arena. It was a sound of appreciation, respect, and admiration. It was a moment that Joe Martin would never forget. He had given Ali his first pair of gloves, and now, Ali was giving him something even more valuable, the gratitude of the world. The standing ovation showed how much Ali's words had touched everyone. It was a reminder that even the greatest champions have someone to thank for their success. Ali was known for loving the spotlight. He loved to talk about himself, his skills, and his accomplishments. He was a showman, always entertaining the crowd with his words and his actions. But this night was different. This was one of the rare times that Ali wasn't focused on himself. He was giving the praise to someone else. He was sharing his moment of glory with Joe Martin. It showed a different side of Ali, a side that was humble, grateful, and generous. He usually loved being the center of attention, but on this night, he was happy to step aside and let Joe Martin have his moment. It was a sign of his maturity and his understanding of what truly mattered in life. It wasn't about the championship or the fame. It was about the relationships he had built and the people who had helped him along the way. It was a reminder that even the greatest champions need support and guidance. This act of selflessness made Ali even more admirable in the eyes of the world. This story shows us that Muhammad Ali was more than just a great boxer. He was a great person. He never forgot where he came from or the people who helped him get there. He honored his roots and showed respect to those who had been there for him from the beginning. Even when he was famous and successful, he remembered Joe Martin, the police officer who had given him his first chance. He understood that success isn't just about talent and hard work, it's also about the support and guidance we receive from others. Ali's actions teach us a valuable lesson: always remember to be grateful. Always remember to honor those who have helped you along the way. And always remember that true greatness comes not just from what you achieve, but from how you treat others. Ali's story is a reminder that it's important to be kind, generous, and humble, no matter how successful you become. These are the qualities that truly make someone a champion. So, the next time you achieve something great, remember Muhammad Ali and Joe Martin. Remember that even champions have people who help them along the way. Remember to be grateful for the support you receive and to honor those who have made a difference in your life. It's not just about winning, it's about who you are as a person. It's about being kind, generous, and humble. It's about never forgetting where you came from and always showing respect to those who deserve it. Muhammad Ali was a champion in the ring, but he was also a champion in life. He showed the world that true greatness comes from the heart. He proved that even the most famous and successful people can still be grateful and humble. And that's the story of how Muhammad Ali honored Joe Martin, showing us all the true meaning of loyalty, gratitude, and respect. It's a story that will continue to inspire people for many years to come. It reminds us to cherish our roots and value the people who helped us grow.